Hello and welcome back to Healthicity. It's your favorite paranoid pundit here, ready to truly terrify you about the terrifying truth about our food supply. Now before you get too anxious, put down those organic potato chips and let's take a deep dive into the dirty details of contamination to assess if our grub is actually growing more grim. In this video, we'll spotlight the icky issues around food safety, from fungal infestations to pathogen outbreaks, so you can determine just how panicked you need to be about the groceries in your kitchen. Time to expose the shocking realities around food contamination, healthicators. Let's dig into the nitty-gritty, germy details. Alright folks, let's start with a beloved food category that can go from deliciously wholesome to downright dreadful: dairy. Now I love an ice-cold glass of milk or towering bowl of yogurt as much as anyone. But dairy is highly susceptible to microbial mischief and fungal fiends. Raw and unpasteurized dairy in particular can contain evil pathogens like Salmonella, E. coli, Listeria, and Brucella, not to mention skin-crawling parasites. No thank you. Even your precious pasteurized dairy isn't immune to contamination. Improper cleaning can allow Salmonella, Staph, and Listeria to creep into your cheddar. Yikes. And if that's not horrifying enough, dairy also faces fungal foes like yeast, mold, and it's scary bacteria that create those haunting dairy horrors like cheese mites and blood spots. So dystopian. So while dairy devils aren't guaranteed, dangers do lurk. When it comes to dairy, I say stick to pasteurized products from reputable producers. Stay safe out there. Moving along our contamination nightmares, we come to the gory reality of meat. Steaks, chops, and nuggets seem innocuous enough, but dangers abound. E. coli is the headliner when it comes to meat contamination. This pathogenic pileup comes from fecal matter exposure during slaughter and processing. No matter how you cook it, E. coli will come back to haunt you. Salmonella and other bugs also plague poultry, lurking in the intestines and blood of our feathered friends. Thanks, dirty poultry processing. Mad cow disease still haunts red meat in some regions, as does trichinosis from undercooked pork. Talk about true horror stories. So when it comes to animal flesh, cook thoroughly, source responsibly, and supplement with plant proteins. Fear-free meat eating is possible, with the right precautions. By now you may be seeking solace in the produce aisle, but contamination knows no bounds. Even wholesome fruits and veggies aren't safe. Salmonella St. Paul, E. coli O157 Sage7, and Listeria are equal opportunity bacteria, plaguing melons, leafy greens, and more. Meanwhile, norovirus rides your raspberries all the way to Vomitingville. A lot of this produce pestilence originates pre-harvest from nearby livestock contamination, unclean irrigation water, and excrement-caked farm tools. Black. Post-harvest handling mishaps like using unclean wash water or improper refrigeration allows pathogens to escalate. And adequate cleaning becomes your only protection. So while produce pitfalls can't be prevented completely, we can still take steps to mitigate risks. Scrubbing, peeling, cooking, and choosing trusted suppliers all help. Alright, after that produce purge, I bet you're seeking the security of the sea. Sorry to burst your bubble, but fish have flaws too. Aquatic eats aren't exempt from risks. Outbreaks of Vibrio contaminate shellfish, while Salmonella and Staphylococcus plague finfish when handled improperly post-catch. Let's avoid those fish foes. Ocean-going critters also face industrial pollutants like mercury, PCBs, and plastic microplastics. So much for pristine oceans. And let's not forget widespread seafood fraud and mislabeling. That red snapper could be tilapia. In the end, opting for sustainable wild-caught or responsibly farmed sources is your best bet for reducing aquatic contamination. Stay woke when choosing fish. Phew. Was that an enlightening romp through potential food hazards or what, healthicators? While risks exist, there are powerful precautions we can take. Dairy is prone to pathogens, stick to pasteurized products from trusted sources. Meat has risks, cook thoroughly, source responsibly, supplement plant proteins. Produce can harbor hidden bugs, scrub, peel, cook, and buy from reliable growers. Seafood faces pollution and mislabeling, choose sustainable and vetted options. And support policies ensuring safe practices across the entire food chain. By taking reasonable precautions, we can indulge in delicious foods while avoiding the most alarming risks. We got this, health educators. Until next time, stay woke, stay safe, and please keep eating your veggies.